Hello and welcome to the Justice Factor. According to South African law, a plane may not land at Waterkloof Air Force Base or any national key point except if permission is given by the Defence Minister. The Gupta family, who are well-known friends of President Jacob Zuma, landed a plane with 200 guests at Waterkloof this week without the minister's permission. I'll be asking COSATU leader Zwelinzima Vavi, who helped get President Zuma elected, who exactly is in charge of this country. Is it the Guptas or is it the ANC? After that discussion, we'll name and shame our loser of the week. Now, to help me understand how the Gupta family managed to do what they did this week, I'm joined by Philip de Wet, Associate Editor of the Mail and Guardian newspaper, and Sthembiso Msomi, Political Editor of the Sunday Times. Gentlemen, I'm sitting here. I'm looking at all these papers that we have in front of us. Wash First, Blacks, Israel, Life in a Guptastan, according to your paper, Philip. Is this country for sale? Is this where we are now, Sthembiso?
Maybe not for sale. Maybe we have a big problem in that people who are powerful, people who have influence, and people who have money, who have connections, can do as they like. And this case around the Guptas show us that we have that problem, a serious problem in South Africa.
Do you have a problem generally, or do you have a problem with a particular family that is linked to President Zuma?
It is a specific family. It is a specific problem linked to President Zuma. But we don't know how many other families have that kind of access to power as the Guptas have. The Guptas have been exposed, but it is a problem that is linked to the relationship they seem to enjoy with the high office.
I like what you say about the Guptas have been exposed, and I want to come back to that point. Are we a banana republic, Philip de Wet?
That depends entirely on whether the president takes this opportunity to disavow the Guptas. I almost said the Zuptas, which is what we tend to call them around the office. Look, the president was not amused by this incident. This we keep hearing, and we've now heard it semi-officially. If you look at government's response, if you look at the Tripartite Alliance response, they were not amused. There have been complaints about the relationship between Zuma and the Guptas as far back as 2010. This is the opportunity for the president to say, to hell with you guys. And then we're not a banana republic, certainly.
But how can he do that when his son allegedly lives with the Gupta family? How can he do that when his wife, his fourth wife, Bonging Zuma, works for the Gupta family? And in fact, in one of your newspapers some time back, Philip, you wrote about the fact that this family pays the 3.4 million rand bond on her house.
He could find new friends. He's done it before. There was a certain Sheikh family that was quite close to him, and that, you know, there was a lot of money passing to and fro. He effectively walked away from that relationship when it became too difficult. Surely our president can find new friends, should he go looking for them.
I want to come back to you. You said the Guptas have been exposed. They've been exposed before. Both of your newspapers, you wrote a front page lead story a few weeks ago in which it was alleged that the Guptas had essentially used his name to say we have access to certain things, but no disavowal from the president's office has come.
I think what happened this week was the clearest evidence ever of the kind of influence that they have. A lot of stories that have been reported, people have been talking off the record, people have been talking as sources, so it was easy for people to deny. Even when ministers were saying, we having undue influence from this family, you will have people in government denying because, I mean, it was not being said officially. This is the clearest evidence. In that sense, I think it gives the country an opportunity to actually say, let's discuss how come this family has this influence, and the president needs to come out and say that he is distancing himself from what happened.
I'm sorry to be pessimistic on this one. I don't see how President Zuma would come out and actually disavow himself from this family. It's not the first time I've heard this. Julius Malema, Fikile Mbalula, many people have said this family's influence on not just President Zuma and now in the ANC is too much, and nothing's happened.
But I think the level of public anger has never been at this point, where you find it's not just ANC members, it's not just politicians speaking or the media speaking, it's the general public. I mean, the people who marched at Sun City on Friday, it shows you the level of anger. They may have been complaining about specific problems, but I think their biggest anger was over how this family has just treated us like their personal island.
Philip, one of the things that struck me is that Gwede Mantashe of the ANC, the Secretary General, issued a statement, COSATU issued a statement, the SACP issued a statement, even the ANC Youth League issued a statement, all of them saying this is wrong, this is all that what Sthembiso was saying. Are there implications here for President Zuma as an individual if he doesn't take the kind of action that you say? Are there implications for the alliance generally if the ANC doesn't say to its president this far and no further?
But that's exactly the point. When is the last time when you had a scandal that broke in the media and everyone was on the same page? All of the alliance, all of the public, the government coming out. There's no one here making apologies except for the Guptas. There's no one who's standing on the other side of the line. So for once, the entire country is united around an issue. It happens to be the specific issue.
But guys, sorry, you guys, I don't think you're getting it here. There's a man called a certain Mr. Kolwane. He's the one who seems to have been running this thing. He seems to be the one who's been suspended with others. But essentially, it seems as if it's going to be, you, Mr. Kolwane, from the Department of International Affairs, and you, the ambassador to the Indian ambassador to South Africa, and after that it's fine, but you know, it's not a problem here. I'm not convinced that
the Guptas aren't going to take the fall. The Guptas aren't going to be the ones who are going to be criminally prosecuted. They were at arm's length at this. So no, there won't be a direct impact for them.
And President Zuma won't take the fall. Mr. Kolwane
of course not. But politically, this is the opportunity for Zuma to walk away from them, to actually accede to this pressure. He's in a perfect place to do so. And if he doesn't, he might be in trouble. Keep in mind, he has to play to his constituency, which is the ANC. The ANC now, if not before, wants to see the Guptas a long way away from the president.
There's an election coming up next year. Is this going to have an impact?
It is a major issue for the ANC from what we hear, that people are identifying two issues as they go to elections next year. That is the Nkandla scandal, and it's also the president's relationship with the Guptas. So that is why I think he will have to create a distance between himself and that family before next year's elections. I don't think it's going to have any impact immediately in the ANC as people may be calling for changes in the leadership, because I mean we have elections next year, and we just had a conference in December last year. But I think it will put a lot of pressure on him to change the way he does things with them.
Should we be getting the Scorpions back? Because that was the only independent investigations body we had. We don't have a truly independent body, do we?
You don't need an investigations body to handle this. That's the beauty of this situation. It's not undercover. It's not like we have to spend months and months following a trail of money. It's very obvious. It's very obvious what happened here. A family with a certain level of arrogance took the power that they had and they misused it in such a blatant fashion that the entire country went, oh, no, hang on for a second. It's that simple. It doesn't require even a police investigation. It simply requires the president to stand up and say, you know what, I don't like the way these guys do business. I'm not going to do business with them anymore.
And they might know quite a few things about him that we don't know. Gentlemen, I'm going to steal 30 seconds from my producer. I'm going to ask you a question about Nelson Mandela, the photo opportunity that he had with the ANC at the beginning of the week. Was that as innocent as the ANC says? They wanted to show the nation that the man is still doing well, or was this just blatant opportunism?
I think it would have been better if they wanted to show that he was well, for it to be done by the South African government. I mean, the issue has always been handled by the presidency in government. Why was it being handed over to a political party?
He's a member of the ANC, Philip de Wet.
The protocol is in place for the media handling of the former president. The deal has been struck. How we'll go about covering him to make sure that his privacy isn't invaded. Guess who breaks that protocol? The ANC.
Philip de Wet, Sthembiso Msomi, thanks so much for your time. Coming up is COSATU about to split in two. Zwelenzima Vavi joins me after this.
News that moves. ENCA.com.